Hey everyone, welcome back to the European Challenger Series Summer Playoffs. We're just about ready to get into Game 2 of this quarterfinal showdown between SK Gaming Prime and Reason Gaming. Now SKP leads 1-0, and they crushed that one in like 20 minutes.
Yeah, and with one more win, they advance to the semifinals. And semifinals, you make it there. 4 teams are in the semifinals. 3 of them make it to the LCS promo. So you have a really good chance if you make it past this first round.
And keep in mind as well, their semifinal opponent, if they win here, is going to be NIP, whom they 2-0'd like literally 5 days ago. So you got to consider these guys have a pretty good shot at making it into that.
They like right now in terms of recency, they look like the best challenger team. They beat H2K, they beat NIP. Both of those teams are having roster changes and are going to have some adjustment time. So right now, SKP looks like the team to beat.
And they seem to be getting along well together as well. And they've just had such great individual performances. So Kikis got that Rengar, went 1-0-7. He just kept going mid, man. He's like, you know what? Here's the dominant lane. It's a squishy Ahri. I've got Cinder for backup. This combo, go mid, go mid, go
also,
mid.
at the same time, their mid laner, WattFox, had already established a large CS lead and forced Take Fun back at the early game and made him miss out on some CS and kept doing that to him. And then Kikis is like, all right, the dagger's in. Let's twist it a little bit. Yeah. And he kept using the bola before he would jump. It's so much easier to aim it that way if you guys are going to try to pick up Rengar, because as soon as you jump on the person, you don't know which direction they're going to go on top of you. And it's always a little harder to hit somebody with a skill shot when they're right on top of you. Like, that's a big thing with Ezreal, too, is when somebody's right on top of you, it's much harder because they can walk through you, they can walk to your right really quickly. Basically, your turn radius is really hard to aim.
If you play a call, you can dodge skill shots by pressing R on the champion.
Yeah.
And you're inside them, and they go, hua! You're there.
Off on your side.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Akali, it is a champion that WattFox will play sometimes. He picks it as a Yasuo counter pick. Maybe Take Fun wants to play it. We'll see if that ends up being the case. Doesn't seem to play too much solo queue, but you never know. The Jarvan, once again, removed away from Kikis. They do not want him to get that champion. Rengar, by it being first picked, means it's probably contested here, though, so maybe Reason Gaming can get that one. More Reds had Cassid and bans, but they had otherwise banned Orianna, Aurelia, and Kha'Zix, so have to see what they'll drop away for this one.
They're going to ban away WattFox's Syndra. Now, here's the big thing, too, is his Xerath is something you need to fear and think about, because he's really good on that champion, and for all intents and purposes, it's pretty similar to what Syndra does. It has a stun for gank assistance. It also has good wave clear early on, and then you assassinate people. Granted, the distance is a little further, and it's not just a point and click.
Sure. You
kind of have to aim it, but I talked with SKP, and they were like, I wish people would stop banning Xerath against us because they're just so good with Xerath compositions.
Well, we'll see if he gets to play it there. The Yasuo still removed away. The Aurelia's dropped, so Kha'Zix is allowed this time around, but right away, Zayu wants to play the Rengar here. We're going to see how his stacks up to Kikis's.
Yeah.
It's basically a replacement on this roster. Aziz immediately goes for the Lucian here. He knows that's a priority. I'm trying to think back to what their other early pick was here. I might have been... No, it was Lucian Syndra, I think.
They, in terms of what they ended
early
up
on
for themselves, I believe so.
Because they had time to grab Thresh because the Leona was grabbed so early on. So I got to see what they actually consider to be contested here in this one, because that's all that's left. They do actually want that bottom lane to continue. I think it's a great choice. Ziz and Zaitan played very well in Lucian Thresh.
Yeah, they had a really good showing on those 2 champions, and the Thresh saving Z's a bunch of times.
Yeah.
Got out with 4 HP, actually, watching the replay again. Ridiculously low.
Yeah.
And the timing of his flash was really good at the end to just create that extra distance. But here's the thing, is when you have Rengar on your team, we talked about it, Lee Sin, Elise, Evelynn have gotten some nerfs. So him and J4 are the top junglers right now. When you ban J4 out, it really just means, okay, this is cream of the crop. Let's take Rengar first pick. Both teams have done it. And now, coming in, what are you going to synergize that with? You need some type of assassin, some type of follow-up with CC, and they're going to go with just that. They're going to bring the Leona again and the Ahri. So Ahri has really great gank assistance for Rengar.
She does. Well, we're going to see Take Fun go back on that role. Libic still wants to play Leona as well here. So basically, these guys are opting into the exact same matchups. The only real difference is that Rengar got stolen and WattFox can't play Syndra, so he'll now play TF against Ahri.
Yeah, he's going to be able to try to stun her up, throw some cards at her. She does have great mobility, but his gank assistance is also really good on that.
Yeah,
and he has some roaming power, a lot more than Ahri does in the early game.
Yeah. We're going to to see what Kickers wants to play here. Lee Sin is his most played.
I think he might go with the Vi.
I think Vi is definitely very strong. She's also been untouched for a while, and people have been happy to play the champion. I mean, just think about how strong TF Vi ganks are. 2 point-and-click stuns, and someone's going to have a really hard time against that one. Mockler says, you know what, we held up in lane last time. Let's go for Hypercarry here. Tristana's going to be the champion. I don't necessarily love Leona into Thresh, but Tristana will have a pretty reasonable time laning.
Yeah, and we saw Zaitan's Thresh and the way he was using the Flay to stop the Zenith Blade over and over and over again. I think that that pick is a little questionable coming into this, but whatever their plan is, I'm not sure, because they're going to be a little aggressive. Tristana did take a nerf to Explosive Shot in the early game in terms of damage and ticking by about 30 at rank 1. But this isn't really like a scaling lane. This is a lane that's looking to be kind of aggressive early and try to crush you. But if you just try to sit back on your heels with Leona and a Tristana, it's not going to work out too well. Like things that synergize with Tristana, that's not one of your that's not one of your top picks.
So here's the weird thing: you have weird anti-synergies, but the cool thing is you still got the fallback pattern. So at the end of the day, you're still Tristana.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, if your lane just stagnates, screw it, I'm Tristana late game, who cares?
But that's the thing, though, is does this lane have the capability of stagnating with the Leona
No.
as opposed to something like a Nami?
So generally, no. Leona's a bad defender in general. Also, Trist has really bad synergy with Leona because Leona cannot fight under an enemy turret. Everything she does puts her in melee range and pulse aggro, so she would take damage going for a fight. And Trist, by default, would push a lane because of Explosive Shot. So it will be this weird 2-on-2 synergy. If you do get pushed in a bit by Lucian going for a bunch of shots and getting the double shots out, then you can fight in the middle of the lane and it's going to work out again. And Tristana can easily proc Sunlight with Explosive Shot. It just depends on how the lane dynamic plays out. It can easily play out in a way that makes Leona useless. It can plan out in a way that goes pretty equal. So you have to kind of see how it plays.
Yeah, and I want to pay attention to where Zayu puts his ganks as Rengar at level 6 if he starts going bottom and trying to snowball the Tristana and see if that's the little avenue they decide to take into the game. Because right now, the last 2 picks that were locked in terms of like top laners was Dr. Mundo, who I think is right below Maokai right now in terms of meta and utility and kiting, and then also being a late game peel and also tank for your team. Really, really big. Then on the other side, Smitty, he went with Riven again.
Yep.
Riven counterpick to everything. That's just,
why not?
That's what Smitty, if he had a notebook like Cloud9, he'd open up and it'd say play Riven. That is the plan for Smitty. Can I get Riven? That's his contingency. He's got a flow chart. Can I play Riven?
Yes.
Yes. Do I want to play Riven?
Yes.
Yes.
There actually is not a no option.
If there is a no option, it's like play Riven.
Yeah. You're right. Do you want to play Riven? Yes. Do you not? No. Play Riven. Okay. Guess I'll do that anyway, guys. Smitty J, a man of few needs.
It's got to be a Smitty flow chart. I'm sure he'd enjoy that.
I actually met Box in real life a couple weeks ago, and he says he believed that Riven was no longer good because he felt like the only way he would ever win matchups is when his opponent screwed up, so they didn't know what Riven did.
Oh.
I don't know if that's necessarily true here. Smitty's making me a believer, but hope these two get to talk at some point and they can kind of share Riven notes. Those are the 2 big Riven players I know of right now.
Yeah, the thing about Riven, though, is you have to crush the matchup early. Like, Smitty, he picked this last pick. He knew he was playing it into a Mundo. You are going to have to be aggressive early, completely unforgiving champion. The margin of error is so low on Riven in that early game. Because if you miss or mess up 1 or 2 trades, your lane is like, I have to back now. The fact that he starts Longsword 3 potions, in my opinion, actually increases his margin of error. He has more wiggle room here because, or I guess makes it smaller. There we go.
Okay.
That's what I meant. The margin of error is large, but when you take extra potions, your margin of error is actually smaller in the early game. Because you don't have to auto-attack to regen if you mess up a trade. You just walk back, chug a potion, and then you can go in again. And the fact that it's so early game oriented, like you would think with the Doran's Blade, given infinite time, it would out-sustain 3 potions. Right?
Yeah, theoretically.
But 3 potions are going to give you that little burst in the early game to get back in after you miss or mess up a trade.
And it is a TP lane regardless. It's not like you need to be in lane infinite time anyway. You just need to be in lane long enough to get your first recall in. So, do you want to see how it plays out? We're going to watch this bottom lane start right here. Zaitan and Z's now switching onto the red side, getting their push down as fast as possible.
Trying to get the minions ASAP.
They got the first wave, missed 1 CS. And look at that Q lineup. He's actually hit Mockler with that a number of times here.
Very close to hitting 2. It's going to be right here for them.
And you notice that Zaitan, again, is saving his charge, using it for sustain here. Nice little harass there onto Libic as well. And you're seeing these guys exactly know their limits and their ranges.
This is my happy face.
Fall down and go boom.
He's going to spam joke a little bit.
Yep.
See?
Did you know, actually, I didn't know this for a while, but Deficio told me, Z's is formerly known as Haydal,
Yes.
or Haydal. If you guys remember that name from a while back, it's a name that I actually recognized from a few years ago. I didn't know it was him at first. So some of you guys might know that name. Same dude.
I don't know when he changed his name, but...
Whoa, Zaitan, nice play already ready for it. Libic, oh wow, the hook on the back throw. They just go in and that would ignite his pop. Z's gets some damage down, does get stunned up though, and Libic takes a lot of damage though on the back of that.
Wow, just Zaitan's presence of mind to flay the Zenith Blade and then to hook onto Mockler immediately after.
I wasn't even ready for that flay, and I was like, all right, yeah, he did the all last game. Oh, look at that one! Zaitan is so freaking good at this game, and now Libic is locked up. Good stun on a Z. Summoner heal pop. Ooh, good flash to get away, but he's one hit from dead. Has to burn the Summoner heal, and Mockler still gets it, though. So look at this. The outplays are there. Can he get more damage now onto Zaitan? Another stun's going to land. Mockler's going to land the rocket jump.
Backwards into
a good
turret.
flash into the turret range. Jumps on in, and Zaitan gets the kill. What a game.
You started that off with Zaitan is so good, and we ended it with Zaitan is so good. Wow, just the way that he plays that Thresh, it's like butter. It's so smooth. His motions, his flays, right on target every time. Even that diagonal flay to stop the Zenith Blade. It was not a linear skill shot there. Watch this. Diagonal across it. Libic could have been late or could have been early. Doesn't matter. Gets it right in the middle of it, the meat. Flash is there and uses both summoner spells, but he gets Mockler's as well. So Mockler thinks it's okay to go in. And man, Zaitan's play here is just brilliant. He already uses his play here, so flash, hook backwards. You basically see this play coming, but Mockler had already used his rocket jump to try and close the distance and was just really greedy with that play.
Yeah, he used it really late too. He could have used it during the Leona stun to guarantee he didn't get flashed, but you saw right there a great move by Zaitan to get away. It was pretty impressive stuff. Overall, it means the game is rather close, actually. A giant CS lead, 2 Z's, is nice. But because of that first blood gold, Mockler's already got a pickaxe in that lane.
Yeah, pickaxe to double Dorans, but there is a little bit more sustain on Z's side because he brought more potions, both types.
What does help, though, is that Libic has the Targon spray, so he's got some sustain to give to his teammate. About, what, 2% of his max health per wave. I forget the exact numbers, I just know it's nice.
It's just nice. We'll say it's something like 40.
It's a number more than 0. That's useful to have.
So Zaitan, just a testament to how good he was, or is.
Yep.
He had the highest KDA on his team in Summer Series 2 at 6.95. Next closest person was Zadie Carey, 0.4 behind him at 6.5.
What a scrub.
Everybody else on the team is about 1 or 2 whole KDA behind Zaitan.
Yeah.
He's a ridiculous support player. 131 assists in Summer Series 2. That's a ridiculous amount. I'm pretty sure that's the highest in Summer Series 2.
He's a pretty darn good player, man. It's a fun team to watch right here. We're going to see how the rest of these matchups play out. Mid lane is actually a wash right here. You're seeing 44 CS to 44. Neither have backed just yet. Take Fun really wants to bully out WhatTheFox.
Yeah, it's kind of trying to reverse what happened last game. WhatTheFox is keeping up in CS, though, and has the ability to just stay even. Both are at 48, and then this wave coming up. Big thing here, though, both junglers have not been present on the map, aside from just farming and maybe roaming around between the lanes, but no real ganks coming out here. They're both going to go for those level 6s and then ganking.
I know Vi does have the opportunity to gank before level 6, but Rengar is a big level 6 jungler. And looks like they are going to play the same sort of tactics here. Couple CS missed by WhatTheFox, and finally Take Fun pulls a bit of a lead. Take his sweeps.
Sees nothing. Take ward down to the bush at the same time.
Ooh, harass on a Zaitan, though, down about half HP, puts the Lantern Shield down. Libic takes a bit of harass from Z's, and you're seeing the sustained advantage.
Oh, Smitty, they're going to find Zion.
Oh, wow, they just got him out of nowhere. Great flash to get out. Goes for the ulti, and he gets it. Nice job, Smitty J. gives himself in a decent spot.
Invade the Rengar. We talked about how weak Rengar is in the jungle. They saw this coming and they go straight over.
On a ward, looks for take from him. Can't quite find the damage or CC's looking for, but they are getting a blue buff steal. Man, SK Prime so ready to play aggressively. They knew blue buff was respawning and they went right for it.
These players know the champions like the back of their hand. The fluidity that we just saw Smitty go over that wall with was crazy. His animation, just knowledge, feel of that champion. Because there's a lot of animation canceling you can do on Riven.
But he's playing this champion pretty much perfect, and life is good when you're Smitty J, man. And when you're SK Prime, you know he's going to get you in a pretty good spot here overall. And look at this, Watt the Fox and Kikis already looking towards the bottom side here.
Level 6 here for Kikis, so he has a lot of pick power alongside Watt the Fox. And Watt the Fox has the exhaust available too. That's the summoner spell he opted to choose instead of Ghost.
Interesting choice here for him, but look at this, already onto the red buff. SK Prime about to take away all of the jungle here of Reason Gaming, and Kikis, man, he's making some really good calls. TF, then he's supposed to win the mid lane against Ahri, but he comes down anyway, and they make it work.
As a big proponent, or I guess supporter of Exhaust versus Assassins, I do like the choice on Twisted Fate, though. We'll have to see how it works out without Ghost. Bottom.
Done on a Zaitan, double Q landing from Z's, still puts the attack down on the limit. Wow! What a hook on a Mako. That guy's gonna go down. Kill actually goes to Zaitan anyway. But Z's gets some really good damage down.
This team looks so good. The fluidity of their motions, even Z's right there with the flash and the relentless pursuit. Speaking of relentless pursuit,
well, that's going to be a jump on a Kikis there. It gets away with a flash, but now Livic's got to be real careful. Ulti onto Z. Zaitan, go ahead with the summoner heal. Why not claim that one? Dashes over the wall. Kill picked up. In comes Smitty J. He actually goes down, though. Limps into that fight. Maybe he shouldn't have so much.
Yeah, it looks like he went over the wall, or at least walked into an area. Watt the Fox used his ultimate there. A little bit too late to give the vision required to Smitty J before the engagement.
And it's SKP looking for the dragon off the back of this one, though. They are going to go for the neutral objective here now that they can. You know, with the lantern, with the hook and everything else, looks like SKP going to claim that pretty easily. Pink ward comes out to be sure. And that is a dragon plus a 2-kill lead to SK Prime.
Yeah, the reason they're able to claim that is because Smitty J walked over here, but Reason Gaming, in their minds, they were saying, we're going to get that red buff away. And they know that Zayu was doing the red at the time, so he's on the complete opposite side of the map from Dragon. No smite steal available. Safe play. It's just SKP style with Kikis is make the safe play, make the calculated play, but it looks very aggressive.
Well, Smitty was unfortunately not in the right place that time around, though. That was maybe not calculated as well as he wanted to. His team was still coming in from behind. So again, good by Reason Gaming, though. They had been just completely kicked down this entire game. And then said, you know what? We think we can go for the red buff here off the top lane. They did. They got a kill for it. They got the red buff steal as well.
They get punished.
Yeah, that was a good play by Reason to make that one happen here.
When you get punished for plays like that look like free plays, that look like you made the right play, means that this team of SKP, they know their map, they know their map movements and their map game, and they know how to counter rotate another team, which is really big. You don't have to know just how to rotate well, you have to know how to counter rotate somebody. If they go for X, you go for Y, but make Y a better objective.
Absolutely. And so far, SKP up 3,000 gold. The threat of a ward makes Tristan a rocket jump away, and you're seeing Z's and Zaitan just sit around for a little while here, try to freeze the lane out and deny some more CS. There goes the caster minion. And there's the kill onto the cannon here.
Look at the wards that Kikis is now placing inside the enemy jungle. He's trying to keep tabs on where Zayu is and then fight him. Because every time you fight a Rengar in his jungle and he doesn't have flash up, he's pretty much guaranteed to die. Levels 1 through 3, you kind of don't want to fight him in his own jungle.
Takefun wants to want the box, so he's going to land the charm and stop the ulti in. Great job by Takefun. Now, can he get the damage? Good exhaust, but it might be a little bit too late. Flashes out, and now Takefun gets ulted in, but he gets the combo down. In comes Zayu. Oh, wow, the flash of the wall. Takefun stays alive, and the double kill for Reason Gaming. They're back in on this.
Wow, so Watt the Fox not looking at his own champion. Doesn't get the exhaust off until way later, and Takefun just waits it out and then continues the aggression, but down bottom.
Livic gonna land a bit of a combo on a Zaitan, ulti included. There's the box, so they want this kill back. The hook stops the rocket shot, but the Q comes out, trading kills. Now can he get it with the culling? Not quite, and Z's won't quite play Mockler, but the lane is still dominant.
Wow, Mockler saying, I'm doing what you did last game.
Yeah.
5 HP for me, 5 HP for you.
It's okay, it's pretty fair. Feeling they were both down 4 more health, he still would have lived. He got the kill last game.
More than enough.
Looks like Z's wants to get the local gold from the turret death, but he's going to recall too soon, so you see he shoots it to make sure it dies. He wants to deny, but he also wants the gold. Not too bad.
It's a good play.
That's Ruin King for him.
Yeah, it's going to pick it up for himself, and he's going to be in a very good place in terms of power spikes against Mockler, who has the BF sword and the pickaxe. Their trades right now, really, really in favor of SKP.
Absolutely they are, man. They're up 2.4 thousand gold. They're already looking for this blue buff steal one more time, but there's no way are they going to get it. So it looks like Reason Gaming going to claim this for themselves. It's healing, though. So they're going to have to tell that one again.
Round 2.
Thing is, Take Fun already had a blue buff from killing Watt the Fox not too long ago. And you're seeing these guys definitely playing some really good moves now. Zaitan, can he play the rocket jump there? Ulti comes out, does not get that one. Lantern comes out just to see if anyone's counter ganking. That's not the case though. And Mockler will fall down. Watt the Fox gets the kill off that one.
Zaitan, really nice support. You see him not stealing those kills. That's why he has 131 assists during Summer Series 2.
It's true. Only has 15 kills.
Yeah, sets his team up for success. He has 15 kills over 10 games.
Yeah. So it's a decent amount of kill stealing. I think it's the right amount.
It's like 1.5
secures a game. Yeah, that's all right.
He's on par right now.
Pretty good.
Sometimes your 80 carry dies like that second blood, and you just have to take it. Here comes the TP though from Smitty.
Wants in on Take Fun, pops the ulti, and in comes the Raven. The flash stun comes out, the ulti as well, and that is the kill. Smitty J claims the kill onto Take Fun, and Reason Gaming have to get the heck out of there.
Hook lands, Spirit Rush goes out, and he still follows him through it.
Yeah.
Really good play there. Zaitan, their map movements, and everything else from SKP, from their laning to their team fighting, looks spectacular.
There you go, a single kill turns into the mid lane outer turret. Now the mid lane tier 2 turret as well. As Z's push the bottom lane, they can go right from this into the bottom lane and get a third turret off of a single kill. Joki's pushing top, not their biggest concern here. And there they go.
Yeah, their biggest concern is the fact that Mockler is half the CS of Z's.
That is a very rough place to be, but here comes the jumping in. Can they win this fight, though? There's no Dr. Mundo. He does not have teleport. This could be a 5v4. The SK Prime could win, but the REQ is going to catch Zaitan. Mockler claims the kill on that one. They jump in and watch the Fox. Summoner heal used. Can he lock a gold card and deal enough damage with it? Puts the Q down. Doesn't quite do a million damage here, but Reason getting pushed around. The Q comes out for a double kill from Z's. Take Fun's going to fall as well. He jumps in towards Limit. Can he get the damage down? Yes, he can, but he's going to die to the turret there. Triple kill at the same time. Watt the Fox is going to die as well, making that a 3 for 4. And here comes Joki. Smitty J trying to get away, but Mundo is a scary beast. Ulti pop, they're going to try to re-engage.
I don't know.
Now can they? Burst comes down. Health bars are too low. Joki's cleaning up absolutely almost everybody. Double kill again for Joki's. That is an ace on one side as they respawn back.
5 kills for Joki's. So I guess the most of their worries was him pushing that top turret, because he immediately backs, shows up to this fight with good gold in his pocket. And that was a fantastic player there. Hitting 4 people with the stun portion of it. 3 or 4. And now they start picking him off. SKP a little overly aggressive here with their turret dive. Great flash light slinger, as well as the piercing light. But now
Zaitan very much caught out, and Zayu makes that one happen, and suddenly Reason Gaming back in on this one, only down 3,000 gold. This drag is going to have that.
Reason Gaming are making a lot of good moves here as reactive portions to what SKP are doing, being overly aggressive. I love the Solar Flare there from Olympic, showing that the Leona lock-in was for a reason. He's comfortable on that champion. He knows how to work it in a team fight. Then we saw Joki's going with Mundo and saying, Riven's not really a counterpick to this.
Well, the team fighting was certainly strong there from Joki's. And the thing to keep in mind as well is how physical damage-oriented SK Prime is. Watt the Fox, the Twist of Fate in general, is not that big of a persistent damage threat. So this Mundo has already got a Sunfire, he's already got Ninja Tabby, he's almost got Miranduins. It's going to be very hard to kill.
And I love seeing Riven players that have it as their most played, and you can tell just how practiced they are on that champion. Because then you watch it, you try to go home and play Riven, and you're just like, it feels so clunky.
Oh yeah, I can't do it.
Just the way that he moves and the way he auto-attacks between his Qs and just knows the timing of when to click and when not to is just really crazy. You don't think it's a huge thing, but it is. It's like watching somebody play Smash Brothers. And you go watch pro play, and then you're like, I can do that. No,
you can't.
No, you can't.
I mean, all the Lee Sin tricks as well, all the Zed tricks, all the Yasuo stuff. Like, the thing is, and some of it's cool because it's not even that it looks that mechanically difficult individually, but it's knowing what thing to use at what time. Like, anyone can press R and go back to their, like, Living Shadow as Zed, but it's knowing you did enough damage, landing the skill shots, getting the combo down, and when to go in. Ulti, though, onto Zaitan. Instant goes the charm. The DFG as well. Zaitan sure to fall, and Reason Gaming, they're finding picks a lot now.
Yeah, 2K gold difference between these two teams now. Win conditions for Reason Gaming. Pick somebody off, capitalize on the back of it with Mundo. They're doing exactly that.
And there you go. Another turret goes down, bringing it now to about 3,000 gold.
They're going to look for an
3,000 gold, 1K apart on these guys. There's no threshold live, though, but they're going to dive in on Zayu anyway. Big damage comes out from TF, and they are going to pick up that kill off the Smitty. Z is chasing down on a take from. He's going to get stunned up, and here comes Dr. Mundo as well. This could be a bit of a risk for the AD carry. He's going to get locked up on a Jokies. That is a kill traded back and forth. Now the damage onto the very, very tanky Mundo, but it's going to be enough. Looks like a 3-for-1 overall. SK Prime win that fight.
Big part of that fight is the fact that Mockler wasn't in it. They're trying to get him involved now. Has to use his flash.
Just about in range of the gold card. So look at this, SKP. Man, they've had a couple of pretty bad fights in a row that put Jokies in a really good spot, let Reason Gaming back in the game, but looks like SKP might have learned from their mistakes just barely, but you're seeing those signs of weakness.
Yeah, but look at where Mockler is during this entire fight. The fact that Zaitan was picked off early means that this is actually a 4v4 the entire time. Mockler doesn't get in here until way later, and he's a big source of damage for this team. They get rid of Take Fun, and now Jokies is pretty much just a tank wall, and he just soaks up damage. That is basically his only intent and purpose in this match, is to soak damage as much as he can, but if you don't have actual DPS backing you up, it's not going to help.
And that's kind of the thing, is Dr. Mundo is...
Like, he has good damage.
Reasonable damage source, yeah, but you're right, he doesn't... I mean, you saw him in that 1v2 a while ago.
Yes. Where
he was fighting Kickus and Smitty. He has to be low enough for that to happen.
Exactly.
Certainly getting 1v3, it's not going to work.
Soak enough damage, and over time you whittle your opponents down.
Yeah.
Especially because SKP doesn't have a tank on their side again.
Well, Kickus is going to get his way over there, though. Lizard Elder into Merc Treads, and now a Giant's Belt added as well. So Vi will be getting some tank stats, and that will help her quite a bit. What the Fox being used as a split pusher right now, so... And you can see actually with his build, right, he got the Seeker's Arm Guard, but he's going for an early Lich Bane.
He's also has the Morello Nomicon to counter Jokies.
Right, yeah.
Mundo. He's
facing a magic damage dealing mid lane assassin as Tank Fun, but instead of doing the Athenes for MR, he's going Merc Dreads for MR, going Morello Nomicon as you mentioned for the anti-Jokies unique passive.
Yeah, he's not Jokies around.
No, he is not.
That was like
however.
That was like a hearty chuckle. That was
a hearty chuckle.
No Darius inspiration today. I love the funny or fail of that. But still, anyway, SKP, they're rotating now around Jokies. You might think he's safe. Can Zaitan land the hook?
Looks like he can, and so can everyone else land their skill shots. Joki's going to explode, and now Zayu is probably in the wrong spot. Ulti comes out from Kickus. They're going to trade back and forth. This Rengar is going to go down. The hook again is going to land. Zaitan cannot miss.
They just dove between two turrets for that. And now Mockler, he can't really do much. He's down in CS, about 50, and now the Baron is in SKP's sights.
Oh, this is going to go down rather rapidly. I don't know how you defend this out with no ulti on Leona. Here we go, Baron taking all the damage in the world. They're kind of slinking around, but this should be a pretty easy pickup.
And Zaitan is kind of low, but they're going to get it for themselves.
Bit of an early spy by Kickus, but who really cares? 21-minute Baron comes through. His top lane turret going to die as well, and Z's is now 7-3-5. He's got Armor Pen. He can kill a Mundo quickly. He's doing pretty well.
Yeah, his build is Blade of the Ruined King straight into Last Whisper afterwards, neglecting any crit or attack speed increase alongside crit. He has the just the attack speed from Blade of the Ruined King. But the fact he got the Last Whisper will help the passive damage from the Blade of the Ruined King because it distributes. So that's what he's looking for to chunk down the window.
And they're doing a pretty good job, to be honest. Jokies was 5-0 after cleaning up a team fight. Was basically at Sunfire Randuin's, and then Hasn't scaled up much since, though.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a misplay there by SKP, but a great capitalization by Jokies to be in that fight later. But I think the big part of it was Libic with the Solar Flare starting them off on the right foot.
Oh, sure. But yeah, he hasn't gotten a lot bigger. Zayu looks for his way in on What the Fox. Not going to land the root, though. Gold card comes out, but there's Take Fun. Exhaust used, but it's not going to save his life. There's a kill now for Take Fun. SKP has to be really a lot more aware of this Rengar. Kikis, though, wants to do battle here. Jokies takes a bit of damage, pops the ulti in. Will they get it on him? Ooh, the charm's going to get dodged. Take Fun rather low. Nice culling comes in.
Kikis.
Oh, he whips the Q. They can't get it on Take Fun. But maybe they have these guys cut off anyway. Flash over. Q's going to land. Good damage coming through.
Gonna try to head him off the pass.
Can he get the damage? Stunned up. Can he get the ulti down? Tries to go in. The flash is going to make that one happen. And there's the jump in. Wow, look at that. The Vault Breaker, Assault, and Battery taking down Tristana. 2 for 1 overall.
She might be a little girl, but she's not above the law.
She is not. Juvenile Hall for Tristana. Oof. Actually, to be fair, she's probably an adult. Just because they're very short doesn't mean they're kids.
That's true.
That's real jail for Tristana.
Free Tristana.
Nope. Living hooked in, and he's going to go down as well. SK Prime, man, for as much as these Rengar Ahri ganks are picking people off SKP, you're just finding hooks all day from Zaitan.
Yeah, I don't know how practiced Zayu is on Rengar. I think they may have just been trying to take that away from Kikis because of his showing last game. Because when I look at his match history, I don't really see a lot of Rengar games. He's more of a Lee Sin, Elise, Pantheon, Kha'Zix kind of guy, and Kha'Zix was banned away from him both games. So they didn't want him on that. And he goes for the Rengar, and you could see there, even with the gank that he ended up doing, his bola is actually after he jumps.
Can he beat What the Fox one-on-one? I don't know if you really can. Yeah, he popped the ulti, now he's running away. He's got no teammates. The flash by What the Fox, big damage on a Zayu. Now Smitty J versus Take Fun is going to be a battle that Mockler will win for the team. And there's the land to keep him safe, but now Jokies is on the warpath.
And What the Fox actually locked in his yellow card as he was auto-attacking, so it was not on that auto-attack. They went on the next one. And he's going to try to still go for it. Oh, he missed it.
Oh, he's going to try to cut off someone else, though, because this team is now... Oh gosh, What the Fox, be careful.
What the Fox are you doing?
Mundo File. All right, Reason Gaming going to stay safe in this one.
10k gold advantage now for SKP. They are back in the lead off of objectives. The Dragon, the Baron that they got earlier, the top turrets that they've been just knocking down systematically. And then you look at the CS here. Everybody has a lane advantage again. Just continuing some of the laning phase, but coming out of laning phase with style.
Yeah. And now SKP are looking to... What's up?
Thornmail for Kikis.
Yeah. Well, they do have the tank finally.
Yeah.
It's I actually like this build a lot from Vi, by the way. They have plenty of damage output, plenty of physical damage output already with the Lucian and Riven, so going tank on Vi just lets her walk into the front lines and do all kinds of crazy, silly things. I think it is a very good choice. I also like the fact that Zayu is going for a tank build as well. Off a very similar cooldown to start.
Yeah, the problem there is he didn't get as good a start as Kikis did on his Rengar, so his build is a little bit delayed / different because he has to go severely tanky, severely quickly instead of sitting on some cooldown reduction from Kindle Gem.
That's true.
He's more conscious of the AD threats as opposed to the AP. Because he has to deal with the Riven as well as a Lucian. And that Lucian is big. He's got both his Yumu's Ghostblade and his Blade of the Root King. Last Whisper on top of it. And now he has a QSS to deal with Charms, Roots, and Stuns from Leona.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty hard to lock down Z's right here, man. He's been scaling up so well. He's still up 60 CS in the matchup. And 8, 3, and 7. I mean, we've been talking about how good these hooks are and all these moves from Smitty, but the guy who's getting all the gold here is Z's, and you're showing it in his inventory.
Split push here from Smitty. He has 2 armor shredding items completed, and he has magic resistance. He's looking just to split push right now and see if he can take on Jokies, and then he still has enough damage to actually burst the squishies out as well. So now we're going to see what's SKP's move.
Right now they're looking a little bit towards the top lane. Tia pops the ulti, and there comes the engage on a Zaitan, who actually survives the Ahri burst. And here comes Kikis, great knock up there onto Mockler, forcing him to flash over the wall. And now Zayu in the front line taking a bunch of damage. Will he go down? No, he flashed away as well, but a great culling from Z's. Gonna claim the life, and now Joki's taking the damage. Nice jump over the wall by Zaitan. Flays him in. The damage from Joki's not quite enough. Whoa, bug splat from the spectator, but to be honest, feel like SKP may be about to win that one.
I think it just said purple team wins, so
spoiler alert. Looks like they got the win anyway.
Spoiler, guys. Looks like SKP ends up winning that one. Hopefully we get the last remaining minutes back on your screen.
Well, we do spectate with usually 2 spectators.
I want to see how that game ended
in
terms of what plays were made. Because at the very end there, we saw the dive from Riven. Maybe he was just going too hard, the game broke and couldn't handle it. Because SKP looked ridiculous.
Well, I mean, the thing is that they were already full. And so it was too much ham for them, and they just couldn't. They had to push away and take a break, and I tried.
Where are you going with this one?
I don't know. I was struggling. I'm flustered because it crashed, and now I'm just doing all kinds of wrong things, and I don't know.
It's like a backronym.
It is. It's like a backronym. I was trying to make it work, and unfortunately, it was too forced.
Yeah, I don't know.
Round peg in a square hole.
I don't know if everybody knows what a backronym is.
It's when you have like 4 letters, and you're like, but it means this.
Yeah. If I already have like DPT, I'm like, what is that? It's got to be David Freak Turley. Oh, there we go.
Yep.
Boom.
That's what it means.
And then I could be like, no, it's the dog pound torture. Why are those the 3 words?
Wow! You're a horrible person.
I'm not the one who has the same initials as dog pound torture.
Are you serious right now? I go with a...
All right. Anyway, this game was looking really, really good for SKP.
Yeah. Well, so here's the thing, right? Here's what happens in this game so far, right?
Perfect. We're back in the game.
All right. We're going to find this engage one more time, and we're going to watch them as they've engaged onto each other. Zay getting pushed around. He's going to flash away from that one pretty safely. There's the culling. And now here's the jumps over the wall. The hook on in. They're going to try to chase him down. Good knockup, but there's no ulti there. But, wow, the dash stun. Dodge the charm. Huh? He does get it. Wow. He just outrun Jokies. Now they push in on towards this inhibitor turret. That's going to drop rather quickly as well. This looks pretty darn good for SK Prime.
Yeah, they're going to get this middle inhibitor for themselves. Smitty, he didn't end up picking up any of those deeper kills, but he still went deep for it. And SKP looked really good off the back of that. Mockler still low. He's just hit his 2-item threshold when Z's is about to start working on his 5th.
So, Reason Gaming gonna hold on as best they can. They are down 14,000 gold right here. They're off a very, very rough team fight for the guys. The Ahri has worked a little bit better from Take Fun, 3, 5, and 7, not getting camped nearly as hard. And Mockler has more or less caught up because there's only one big tank in Kickus. He doesn't heavily need the Last Whisper, so Ayed Shiv is decent damage output. And they get the right fight, Tristan will be okay. Yeah,
that is Tristana power spikes is when you have your IE and then you have a crit item to back it up with some attack speed. So he's in a really good spot. Thing is what power spike is Z's on right now? He's past his mid game into his late game power spikes here as Lucian because he already got the first 2 active items he needs, the Last Whisper on top of it to shred through Mundo, and now he's on his BF sword.
Yeah, that could be Butters, it could be Infinity Edge.
Oh!
Ooh, the flash stun comes in for Smitty J. Can he keep Livik locked up? Actually, WhatTheFox with a red card, though, not in the right spot. Knocked back by the Trist ulti. That means Livik jumping over the wall. Still going to take a gold card to the face. That is a kill picked up. And now SKP going in for the Baron as this all goes down.
Good move to capitalize there. They find people in the bottom lane. No, Mockler's not going to be around. At the same time, though, where's Zayu? Zayu. He's in that bottom lane. There we go.
He's got nothing to do for that one. He's hugging down on that side. And Joki's going to check this one a little bit late. And SKP looks like they want a little bit more for themselves to do. Ulti's going to hit. There's the hook as well. Joki's, of course, he's very tanky. But can he even survive on this one? So much damage comes through. Nope, Z is going to pick up that kill anyway. 24-15. Take Fun. Pops his Zonias.
Doesn't matter anymore because they just have so much damage to take down that tanky Jokies. That Mundo is not at max items, not even close to it. He just has 2. And down bottom.
This is going to be pretty risky. Smitty J, can he win a 1 versus 4 right here? Gold card. Going to hit Tristana. She's going to jump away safely. Ulti pop by Smitty J. Trying to get the damage through. No, not going to be enough for him. Now the gold card comes out. A lot of damage flashes the charm. Now Kickus wants on in. Does see Zayu some good damage. Double kill for TF. They're going to keep on chasing down. Another one goes for a Vi. Now Zayu's going to get hooked in another time by Zaytan. 2 double kills. There's the ace. There's the push in towards the next. This is surely going to be game right now. And only 10 minutes longer than the first one. Looks like SKP going to make it 2-0.
And that's how it ends. We knew it was going to be over in SKP's favor, but man, that style right there, they completely ace Reason Gaming, and that means they're going to be up in those semifinals up against NIP, and it's a rematch of those finals for SS2.
Yep, a rematch from a week ago. We'll get that game, that best of 3, I suppose, tomorrow. And SK Prime, they won a best of 3 in about 50 minutes. About 50 minutes, they basically crushed the composition, or the opposition, I should say.
And the composition, too.
That's true. I mean, they ran a pretty similar team overall, wanted to get that bully bot lane, the Riven top as well, and basically just come out of the laning phase, aggressively invade the enemy jungle. We've seen both times they go for those buffs really hard. They push turrets off of kills incredibly well also. They do get punished occasionally for being a little bit too aggressive sometimes, but I do like their team style.
Yeah, that game, too, was not as clean for them. The fact that they weren't dealing with some of those early game plays as well as they could have. They did have a big lead to start, then the mid game happened and they messed up once or twice, and then it just gave big gold leads or big gold chunks to Reason Gaming, who started to come back.
Yeah.
But then they just were like, no, we're going to kill 4 of you, we're going to go do Baron, we're going to go do Dragon, 10k gold lead, and then it's pretty much game from there, and they just have to pick them apart.
That's true. So SK Prime definitely the team to watch right now. That game 2 being a little less convincing scares me a little bit because I was hyping them up throughout the series.
They did have a less convincing game against Gambit. I mean, not Gambit, sorry, NIP. I was thinking in the future. NIP there, because at the part where they had almost even gold with them, and then they had a base race sort of. It was back and forth. Their scores from that game were not that good. I remember it being pretty long, too.
Yeah, they had dropped one of those games there, or dropped a little bit lower in that game. Or did they actually lose one of those games? I feel like they actually dropped game 2. And I'm like forgetting things randomly. Because that game was so hectic, I actually forgot who won it. They like crazy base race game.
I think it may have been.
No, they did lose that game.
Yeah, it was a 3-game series.
Yeah. Yeah, they lost a really crazy one. I don't know why I'm like forgetting games that happened like literally under a week ago.
Because we didn't cast them.
Yeah, that's why. You just don't remember them as well when you're not watching as intently and talking about everything. But
it's true. We were watching and chilling. So
we're watching and chilling. But SK Prime, man, they are an incredibly skilled team. Of course, they're great individually. Their shot calling for Pickus is great overall. He leads them onto some really great things overall. Like, I like their style. Because I've been casting NALCS, where you've got a lot of the front runners like Cloud9, who play such a reserved early game. Like, they look for the champions like Mundo and Kog'Maw, and their early game plan is get to an item or 2 items, then we'll team fight. And to be fair, they just kind of play around the really strong team fighting. It's a really good way to play. SKP play around the fact that Kickus is going to make moves. They can bully their lanes out early on and then steal everything away from you.
Yeah, and the fact that they are all getting these gold leads in their lanes pretty much unassisted half the time.
Yeah.
And then Kickus is kind of just like the cherry on top. He will set up the lanes with ganks. Sometimes he'll just be like, all right, here's some extra damage on the laner, and now he has to back a little earlier and you get more CS off of it. That's a big thing, that even if you just have winning lanes, your jungler still needs to be present. Now, here's the way that you counter it is that you have lanes that are just as good, which you know is as you fight more and more skilled opponents, you're going to be doing that. Then their jungler makes really early game moves. Despite the fact that they might have a late game composition against your early game comp, if their jungler is an early game jungler like old school Lee Sin, or they get a Rengar for themselves, then they set up those lanes for hyper carry late game. That was what they tried to do here for the side of Reason Gaming, because they have Mundo, they have Tristana, but Tristana fell too far behind. And then the ganks from Zayu on Rengar, 1-6 and 5. His impact in the game with a 1 KDA was extremely low, and I don't remember seeing very early game ganks, even post 6. Pre 6, almost none. Post 6, very, very, very rare. And
it's true.
Them being successful was even more rare than just a gank trying to happen.
It's true, and it's actually kind of interesting. If you take a look, or you kind of listen in on the kills versus assist mark, is actually an interesting stat, because for Reason Gaming, they had 16 kills and 22 assists. So most kills were only assisted by one other person, so they're basically 2-person kills. For SK Prime, it was 29 kills, 55 assists. On average, every kill had 2 people assisting, or 3 people overall involved. So SKP were basically, whenever they were getting kills, the team was involved. They were saying, guys, let's all go for this. Let's go collapse on this guy, which means they were shot calling and saying, let's all go here and grabbing kills. And you can see that with the score line. Whereas for Reason, it was basically, I think SKP kind of over-aggressing and walking into 2 guys was like, oops, there's a Leona in that brush, and kind of giving the kills away on a 1-by-1 basis. I think that is something that SKP does need to shore up here, though. They definitely went a little bit too hard, and again, a better team will capitalize on that and crush you for it, to be fair.
And I was just thinking about that, too, because WTF, I hark back to the part where he was using his ultimate, and he was caught by a charm because he wasn't looking, and then his exhaust was super, super late that he was about 1/3 HP, and then he got Kikis to be involved in that fight too, and it killed him as well. That could have been a really big play for Reason Gaming if they had been even at that point.
True.
So when you're doing something like that as Twisted Fate, you have to be very aware of your surroundings and the enemy, because he came from mid. He saw where the Ahri was when he started that play. He just didn't keep tabs on him.
That's true, and it was, of course, a really good play by Take Fun as well, of course. Like, it's specifically on him. He had gotten a ward down that spotted TF roaming around, saw it was coming up, and said, okay, yeah, he's going to go for this, waits in the brush. There's the ulti, right? Jumps over, charms him. Really good play individually there, but obviously something that overall still went SK Prime's way. So I like Zaitan a lot. I like Z's with the early game pressure. I like kind of everything that SKP is doing. As long as they can temper their aggression just a little bit and not overextend, they'll be in a pretty good place overall. SKP, we'll see them tomorrow against Ninjas in Pajamas, see how that matchup goes. Well, our first quarterfinal match is completed. Let's check out the updated bracket overall. With the victory, SKP, yep, they advanced to the semifinals. They're going to face #1 seed Ninjas in Pajamas tomorrow in a best of 3.
Basically a rematch of the finals from Summer Series 2. And unfortunately, Reason Gaming has been completely eliminated and must now requalify for the Spring Challenger Series for another chance to compete for an LCS spot, and that is a long ways away.
It is a long ways away, but if you're just saying to yourself, gee, sure wish there was even more playoff action today, well, you're in luck. We have another best of 3 showdown between Ocelots Gamers 2 and Unicorns of Love. So don't go anywhere. That match starts right after this. Gonna land the rocket jump.
Backwards into
a good
turret.
flash into the turret range. Jumps on in, and Zaitan gets the kill. And now Take Fun gets ulted in, but he gets the combo down. In comes Zayu. Oh, wow. The flash of the wall. Take Fun stays alive. Reason Gaming getting pushed around. The Q comes out for a double kill from Z's. Take Fun's gonna fall as well. He jumps in towards Limit. Can he get the damage down? Yes, he can, but he's gonna die to the turret there. Triple kill at the same time. Can he get the damage? Stunned up. Can he get the ulti down? Tries to go in. The flash is gonna make that one happen. And there's the jump in. Wow, look at that. Now Kikis wants on in, does see Zayu, some good damage, double kill for TF. They're gonna keep on chasing down, another one goes for a Vi. Now Zayu's gonna get hooked in another time by Zaitan. 2 double kills